My name is Megan Sass. I'm glad to be here. This is actually my first Zoom comedy show, so I am just getting used to the ropes like many of you may be. For example, when I showed up today, I tried putting on some lipstick and I was like, kind of just looks like I ate something and there's something smeared on my face, but I wouldn't have known that until I tried. So we're all here, we're all learning, we're glad you're here. Like Dominic said, I mean, look, it's very hard, let's be honest, to go to just massive amounts of police brutality and to let's all have a laugh. But we're glad you're here, and we certainly do hope that you are with your loved ones and you are safe and you are healthy. I don't need to say that I hope you are alive, because if you were not, you would not be here watching the show. A couple of moments before the show started, actually, there was some action right in front of my building. Some teenagers were starting to fight. And so I yelled out the window, asked them to stop. And honestly, I understand sometimes people need to work out their differences with physical contact, but this is a pandemic. So teenagers, if you're gonna fight in front of my building, I just ask that you please wear masks, and anyone who might be standing back to watch and cheer on their friends is maintaining at least that 6 to 12 feet of distance. I am a teacher when I'm not doing comedy, so I care about the kids' well-being. So we are gonna ask, some of you might be participating by laughing, and so we do wanna ask that if you laugh, please laugh loudly. We need that as comedians. We all need that validation. We are glad you're here. I have to issue this warning before every meeting, every class, and now every comedy show. I live with a cat, Sterling. He is named after the one, the only Rod Serling, creator of The Twilight Zone. And he does occasionally make appearances, and they are often disruptive. So apologies in advance if my cat shows up to say hello, but I have been very glad to have him here with me during quarantine. I have been alone, so he is the only contact with a living being I have, and you know, it did not take long for things to get weird. I think it was 2 weeks in when I looked at Sterling and I said, "Hey, Sterling, did I take a shower yesterday?" And then I was like, oh no, we're reaching that point, I'm talking to my cat. But then I thought, you know what? It's fine. Owners talk to their pets. It's not a problem unless he answers me back. When I think that I'm hearing him answer me back, that is when we will have a problem. So we're gonna kick it off. We're gonna go to our first comic of the night. She is one of my friends. We have worked on a bunch of digital content together. She is wonderful. Her name is Suni Reyes, and you have seen her, or I hope you've seen her, you can see her on Comedy Central. Most recently, Nora from Queens, and maybe not most recently, but definitely Nora from Queens. And she is performing for us tonight in Queens, in East Elmhurst. So please welcome, everyone, Suni Reyes.
Yes.
Thank you. Given that time for the applause that we cannot hear, but we missed so much. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be doing this tonight instead of getting mazed. So this is really great. Before I get started, making you laugh, I would like to take 1 second to acknowledge all of the white people whose feelings have been hurt this past week, months, years, decades, because they were called out on their racism. It is a really hard time for them. Okay, great. So yes, I'm in Queens. I'm in East Elmhurst, the epicenter of the epicenter. Because you know what? I am always the center of attention, so it is right on brand. It is really like, it was just fit that I would be in the epicenter of the epicenter, 2 blocks away from the Elmhurst Hospital. And I am lucky to still be here. Has been rough. We all know how it is out there with the pandemic. I am with my husband, my son, and my dog. And you might be like, great, she's not alone. No, alone is the thing you want to be during a pandemic. You don't want to be in touch with anyone, because you love them, but you don't know, they might kill you. You know what I mean? it is exhausting to be like, do you wash your hands? Don't touch your face. Stop eating my Oreos. Snacks are very important during a pandemic, okay? Snacks are life-saving, you know, and I can only share that much, you know? And it's not only my own family who I have to share my snacks with now. Rats have been gentrifying my walls. Anyone else in Queens having mice problems? Oh my God, these rodents are eating each other because there are no snacks for them out there. I'm telling you, snacks are very important. And they, they just like, took over my walls the other night. And it was just very frustrating. They're not coming for my crumbs. Not here, honey. I was banging them walls, just like, nope, not here. And it turned into a whole TikTok dance by the end of the night. And I think I won. So more snacks for me. Great. I am originally from Puerto Rico, the island, not the borough. Yes. I know, before Hurricane Maria, a lot of people thought Puerto Rico was just a mystical island that the U.S. government built. Just send the Puerto Ricans from the Bronx on vacation, you know. But no, we're a real place, and we all know that we're a colony of the United States. Yes, yes, you own me. Okay, it doesn't matter. We're gonna get our turn. But my whole family still lives there. Actually, I am Dominican Puerto Rican. I know, but too much culture. I know. A lot of people react very surprised when I tell them, "Oh, so you're both?" Like we're not allowed to mix it up or something. The other day, a guy actually was like, the other day, I mean like a year ago, because we haven't seen people. He was like, hold up. But if you had to choose, which one would you choose? It doesn't matter. ICE wants to deport me either way. It doesn't matter. But my whole family is on the island of Puerto Rico. I have some in DR, and they were very worried because they knew, you know, I was in New York and things were not good here. They were like, come spend the quarantine with us. I'm like, I can only deal with one pandemic at a time. My family's fights are pandemic, okay? Like 2 people start arguing, then 4 people are fighting, then the whole neighborhood is in the war. It is tough, you know, and I could only deal with one pandemic at a time. And fighting was not the one I wanted to deal with, you know, because there are not like natural remedies for family fights. They are doing well, thank God. I am hoping to see them soon. My son cannot wait to go back and see abuelita and abuelito. We've been doing remote learning. Any parents in the house? Remote learning. Oh my goodness, school from home. I've been yelling a lot. And if teaching is yelling, I'm a professional teacher. The first month of quarantine, my son had to do a project about the American Revolution. I'm sorry, what? The American Revolution is not the thing you want to be reading about during a pandemic, okay? Stolen land, slavery, and war, what? Yeah, it was very soothing, relaxing, almost like an immunity booster. We survived. You best believe he wrote an essay about how all people wanted freedom. And it was fun, you know. So if in 10 years, another Puerto Rican kid writes a musical about the revolution of 2020, you're welcome. What else? Tiger King, I'm sure you watched. We all thought that was gonna be the height of our, you know, quarantine life. Honestly, for me, the biggest shock from that documentary was how white people have no problem with snitching. Oh my God. They were snitching on each other like there was no problem. Like it was like, this is how we make our money, by snitching. Like it was crazy. I could not believe how much snitching they did, and on camera. Like it wasn't even like, you know, behind doors with the cops. It was like, yeah, he did it. Yeah. no problem. I don't know. I think that's a cool stereotype. So keep it up. The census. Anyone else feeling like, what's the point of this? Honestly, what's the point of it? Because I'm not even in it. Like as a Latina, you know, it's not a race and ethnicity, but also we come, you know, colors, shapes, and sizes. So it was like, what do I actually, you know, mark? Like, I'm clearly an Afro-Latina, but that's not there. And then if I haven't been outside, I feel like I'm too light to mark black, but then I'm not white. It is very confusing for me, the census. And I honestly think the only reason they're doing it is for white people to know how many of them are left. And it's just like, what's the point? Just don't embrace your minority. Like, just like if you're gonna become a minority, just embrace it. Don't, here's the thing, fill it up, you know, fill it out. I don't know. English is my second language, if you haven't noticed. What else? TikTok is not for everyone. I tried for like 5 minutes and no, this is not for me. You know, it was, I really think TikTok is from the devil and demons are running it. It's just not, it is so invasive. Like, I'm like, where's my consent form? Like, I didn't ask for all this content to be thrown at me. I'm not the audience for this. And I couldn't figure out how to like get the stuff that I wanted. It was all thrown at me too quickly. Also, I'm not a professional editor. Like, people get paid for editing movies and videos, and now everyone can do it from home. It's like, what? This is too much, you know, for my 40-year-old brain. And I was just like, this is not for me. This is not for me. So don't feel sad if you're not into TikTok. Let your kids do it and you know, have fun with it. I couldn't deal with it. And being a New Yorker, seeing so many backyards, what? That was triggering. So many backyards, so many pools and kitchens. They had kitchens, like actual full-on like islands in the middle of their kitchen. I'm like, I don't even have a trash can. It doesn't fit in my apartment. So I don't know, TikTok is not for me. And I just want to encourage everyone else out there that felt like they didn't belong. You're not alone. Okay, last but not least, like I said, I have a son, and you know, it's been hard for him to be away from his friends, and sometimes he gets to do like video chats with them. And the other night, he was in a video chat with his one of his best friends, and he was like, "Oh man, this is so rough. Oh, this quarantine. My parents are yelling all the time." And I was like next to him, and I was like, "Let me see what my son is going to say." And he just looked at me, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not looking, I'm not here." And I was like, "Come on, buddy, stand up for yourself, say something, express yourself, let your feelings out, really do it." And he was like, "Yeah, we're good here." Poor thing. Like, I really wanted him to be like, "Oh man, forget this quarantine. I hate this. My parents have been yelling too, and I have to split my attention between my dog, and it's just like, it's too much." And you know, like, to let all his feelings out so that he doesn't become a comedian like his mother. But hey, the damage is already done. Thank you. I'm Suni Reyes.
Alrighty, round of applause for Suni. I'm just gonna have to believe you're doing it because we can't see or hear you. Thank you so much. Oh man, Suni, I totally forgot about Tiger King. That feels like that was 5 years ago.
Right.
So yes, just a continuation. But I also feel you with the online learning. I'm a Hebrew school teacher, for those of you who don't know, which is all of you because none of you know anything about me. So I've been spending a lot of time teaching classes. I had to attend a different Zoom training for every one of the 5 different workplaces I work for. So I know just slightly more about Zoom now than I did when all of this started, because I was mostly learning from people who knew basically not any more than I did. Like Suni said, you know, fair enough about the suburbs. I come from the suburbs of Ohio, and for the first time in my life, I miss it. And our next comedian actually did not grow up that far from me. We're both from the Midwest. She's from Kentucky. And you have seen her on the marvelous Mrs. Maisel on a little streaming platform called Amazon. This is Ariel Elias. Please welcome Ariel.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I'm furious that you called Kentucky Midwest.
Sorry.
I will harness that anger and put it to something good. How dare you? Okay, elephant in the room. I am wearing pants. They are, however, unbuttoned and unzipped because I am not walking as much as I used to. So I just feel like I need to tell you, it is nice. Like there's this whole thing in comedy of like comedians aren't allowed to wear shorts on stage, and now it's just impressive if you can put on underwear. So it's nice to see how the goalposts change. I could not get into Tiger King. I watched one episode and then I was done because, like Megan said, I am from Kentucky, so I am fully aware of how people function on meth. I do not need to see an entire docuseries and 9 hours of my life to know that Tyler, my manager at Five Guys, got stuff done. You know what I mean? I worked at Five Guys for a summer. That was one of the that place is, it's not good. It's not good. That's like, because you walk in, Five Guys is like the place where you get peanuts when you're waiting in line and then you just throw them on the floor, because even at Five Guys they're like, yeah, we don't care about this place either. Just throw it on the floor. I used to teach cooking classes to children in middle schools in Manhattan in private schools. And that's a fun sentence to say because with every word it gets worse. So I would go into these schools. It's crazy now to think of how like I was just eating food that children made, considering where we're at now. I can't believe a pandemic happened, but I would go into these private schools and I would teach kids like how to tell their maids they're doing it wrong was most of it. Because these kids were so rich, right? Like they had so much money that they enjoyed the winter. Like that's the kind of money that they had, which is insane. That's too much money. Have you ever seen somebody just be happy, like they just have all the gear? You're like, how do you? We came back from winter break one year and I asked my class, like, hey, how was your break? And this one girl stood up, which like I didn't ask her to, but that's like the confidence that you get when you have money. She stood up and she goes, oh my God, Chef Ariel, they're always playing with their hair because it's just like filled with nutrients. She goes, Chef Ariel, we went skiing. Do you ski? I was like, no, I have student loans. Never going skiing. It's not in the cards for me. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are here. I know I can't see you or hear you, but it's nice that people are here. I feel like in stand-up we used to start all of our sets by asking like, you know, like, hey, how's it going? How you guys doing tonight? And now it's just like, are you okay? Are you guys okay? I know you can't answer, but like, are you guys okay? I hope you're okay. Everything just feels bad. I don't know. Do you guys ever think maybe the reason everything feels so bad right now is because we didn't forward those emails to our 10 friends like we were supposed to? Because I'm not saying, if you don't remember that, if you're like hot and young, when we first got the internet, we didn't know what to do with it. So we would get these chain emails and it would have a fun fact. And then at the bottom, they would say, you know, forward this to 10 friends or you'll have 7 years of bad luck. And they didn't say which 7. We really assumed that it was going to be chronological and they meant the next 7. But what if it skipped ahead to now? And that's why we've all been inside for 3 months or marching on the streets, right? And I'm not saying causation or correlation because I don't know what either of those words mean. I'm just saying it explains why the baby boomers are fine. Because they forwarded those emails to everybody. And so now they get to retire, own homes. I don't know. I knew Trump was going to mess this up, right? Like, nobody's surprised that this went awry. I knew it was going to be bad. And I knew it was like, in a way, it's a little refreshing that he messed something up that's like affecting everybody, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, for a long time, my mom's biggest fear was Trump was that he had the nuclear codes, which is such a sweet fear at this point. Like, how cute is that you're afraid? I feel like there's no reason to be afraid of Trump having the nuclear codes, just based on the amount of typos in his tweets. Like, he's not typing the codes right. You know what I mean? Like, how many chances do you think you get on that before it locks you out? Because my phone gives me 10. I project a lot of my insecurities onto other people, which, considering we're in quarantine, is just my fiance. I am projecting all of my insecurities onto him. I'm trying not to. It's really hard. I have body dysmorphia, which, if you're not familiar, body dysmorphia is this condition where you are a woman. And so I have that. I have woman. And body image, it's like a weird thing where everybody struggles with it no matter what you look like. I used to work with this woman who was really tiny and petite in this way that, like, I never will be, right? Like, she had these, like, Florida Methodist hips where they're just, like, so narrow. And I'm very Jewish on both sides. Like, we survived the Holocaust and the Inquisition. Like, those are my hips. They're meant to like last. It's like secret deodorant. Those are my hips. Like strong enough for a man, but made for a woman. Like, if the ox died, I could pull the cart. Like, that's what I'm built for. And I was complaining to this woman one day, this tiny woman, and I don't like to complain, but I love to. And I said to her, I said, Danielle, and her name was Ashley, but I said, Danielle, I would kill for your body. And she looked at me and she said, oh my God, Ariel, I would kill for your body. And that was a real epiphany for me. Like, that was such a light bulb moment, because I never realized before that skinny people are dumb and wrong. Mm-hmm. I used to ride the subway to feel better about myself. That's how I used to give myself a little pick-me-up. You guys ever ride the R all the way to the last stop and feel good? Kind of like look around and you're like, I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. One time I was sitting on the subway next to a Hasidic man, and they're the curly Q Jews. And we've also established this, but I'm Jewish too, so everything I'm about to say about this guy is fine. But we're sitting on the subway because they're not allowed to touch women who they're not related to or who they're not married to. So we were sitting on the subway, and the subway rocked. And when the subway rocked, he accidentally touched me, right? Like, he leaned up against me, and I knew he realized it because he recoiled away from me. He got as far away from me as he possibly could. He started praying under his breath in Hebrew. That's the sexiest I've ever felt. I was like, oh, I'm gonna violate a man's religion today? Like, okay, still got it. It was like a very big culture shock moving to New York and like seeing other Jews, because I grew up in Kentucky where it was me. That was it. Which also means that I was who everybody came to for answers about Judaism when they learned anything about Jews, which got a little weird sometimes, because in middle school, all of my friends learned that the Jews killed Jesus. So a group of my friends came up to me, a few of my friends, my one friend came up to me, and she was like, she goes, Ariel, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but we learned in Sunday school that because you're Jewish, it means you're going to hell. And I was like, oh, wow. You think about me on the weekends? That's so nice. So nice. You guys, it's almost as nice as you guys are. Thank you guys so much for coming to this. It's really nice to not be obsolete for 10 minutes. Bye.
Woo! Thank you, Ariel. Awesome. And my apologies for defaming you and saying that you are from the Midwest when you were in fact from the South. I grew up in Cincinnati, which is right on that border to Kentucky. And Ariel was explaining to me that part of Kentucky apparently does not qualify as the South. So I'm firmly in the Midwest. And I also grew up as a Jew in the Midwest, have similar stories to Ariel on that. And I was warned by Jay, who is running tech for this, that I'm sorry, there are notes in the I was warned by Jay that apparently if you talk too fast trying to do storytelling or comedy on the Zoom, it can get a little distorted. And so the narrative I have in my head through this entire show is just I need to dial back from like New York Jew to Midwest Jew needs to be the speed. You will notice, however, that as I'm speaking more slowly, I'm using my hands more. So the level of Jew will be the same no matter what I do or how fast I speak. My mother actually called me a couple of minutes ago, like while in the middle of this, and I had to text her and be like, I can't get on the phone and help you log into the Zoom for the show. Maybe that is we will try next time. But I'm really proud of all of you that are my parents' age, perhaps, and are able to log onto the Zoom by yourselves. Hopefully, we're doing this show for 3 weeks. My mom has she's got another 3 weeks to figure out how to get into the program. My mother is a brilliant scientist, but there are certain things that eludes her. So I want to talk for a minute about my family, and it is in fact Pride Month. This is not a pride flag. This is actually a cat toy that I keep nearby to distract the cat. But it's also a rainbow. So Suni was talking earlier about being Puerto Rican and Dominican, and I'm Jewish on both sides, and I'm, unlike Ariel, the same Jewish on both sides. It's just half survived the Holocaust, half the pogroms. It's all Eastern European, Ashkenazi. So I can't claim to be two different things in that way, but I think there is scientific evidence that sexuality is genetic. And the reason I think that is that my mom's half of the family is almost entirely queer, and my dad's half of the family is entirely straight, and I am bisexual. So again, I think it's genetic. I inherited half of it from my mom's side. Now, I was in a relationship with a woman years ago, and I had come out to everybody in my family except my father's mother. Now, my grandmother on my mom's side was a lesbian. She came out at 62. I'm going to trust you're all applauding for her, even though I did not.
Yes.
But my father's side, straight side of the family, hadn't told that grandmother. And my aunt was like, look, you got to tell her. Tell her you have a girlfriend. Like, it's fine. So one phone call, I was actually at my aunt's house out in Jersey. And my grandmother said, so what's up with you socially? Which is her way of being like, you screwing around. And so I was like, actually, I have been dating someone for, quite some time now. I haven't told you about it. And she's like, oh, well, why is that? And I said, well, Grandma, she's a woman. It's a woman. And my grandmother went, oh, Megan, I don't care about that. I just want you to be happy. I'm happy for you. And I was like, oh, that's exactly what you hope to hear. And then her next question, we were 2 months away from the high holidays. She said, will you be going to services together for Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur? And I had to say, oh no, she's not Jewish. Which my grandmother replied, oh, she's not Jewish. Well, that really upsets me. So, you can't win them all. And I told my girlfriend about it at the time, and she said, well, I feel guilty. And I said, well, good. That's your first step towards becoming a Jew. And it has a happy ending. We broke up. She is now married. She is now married to a doctor.
Oh my God.
In Westchester. So The punchline is, turns out my ex-girlfriend, more Jewish than I was the entire time. More Jewish now than I will ever be. Happy Pride, everybody. And now we are going to move on to our next comic, Charles McBee. I know Charles from the Inspired Word, No Name series. I want to, sorry, I just saw your camera go on, Charles. So he is the host of Black Twitter Talk, which is a podcast. Look it up. Everybody, please welcome Charles McBee.
Woo!
Hey, thank you for having me. What's going on, everybody? I also grew up in the Midwest and actually went to the University of Cincinnati for a few. So I also had the, confusion of people going Kentucky, because we partied in Kentucky all the time. So it was like, are we Midwest or are we in the South? What's happening? Where are we here? So I understand that. And I get that everyone else in the audience knows exactly what we're talking about right now. Am I the only one? Is anyone else watching the final season of America? Just me? What is? I mean, wow! Like, where is Kylie Jenner and a Pepsi when you need one? Like, where? If only there was a flash mob and a Pepsi, we could have solved this whole thing in an hour. I'm the same as everybody else. I'm just trying to figure this whole thing out. My biggest concern is whether or not I should buy this new laptop now or wait until it goes on Riot. Because I'm trying to figure. It's wild in these streets. They've looted everything. There's no more stores left. People think that things have calmed down. They just ran out of stores to loot. They're hitting up an Etsy tonight. That's where we are at this point. I was watching like some of the news, obviously we're all watching the news and stuff like that. And this one reporter, he was, I think he was in Chelsea, near Chelsea. And he was going, their looters are throwing trash into the streets. They're littering the streets with trash. I'm like, bro, those aren't looters. Those are New Yorkers. Like, are you from out of town? Like, what are you talking about? Have you ever been here before? There are things that I'm learning about myself since being on quarantine. New Yorkers know about this. I don't know if anybody else is not from here. You may not know what I'm talking about. But there's, on the trains, you guys remember on the trains, there's a specific homeless dude on the train smell. And that sounds mean. I know people who aren't from here, they think that I'm making fun of homeless people. No. There's a specific smell that you could bottle it, right? And spray it, and a New Yorker would know exactly what that's. It's like, oh, Jeff on the J train. Like, they know exactly what I'm talking about, right? I used to sit on the train and I used to wonder how long it takes the human body to reach that very specific smell. I would go, is it a month? Is it 6 months? A year? 4 days, guys. 4 days. Just don't shower and live alone for 4 days. And you too will smell like Jeff on the J train. I don't know, man. I didn't move to New York City to live. I don't know if anyone else has that. Like, we talked about coming from the Midwest, coming from the South, wherever. Like, you moved to New York City with dreams of bigger things. I'm going to be a whatever, right? And then you justify paying ungodly amounts of money to live in a shoebox with 30 other people because you're here for the bigger thing. But now the bigger thing is gone. That's on hold. But we're still paying ungodly amounts of money to live in the shoebox. So I am questioning every decision I've ever made in my entire life that has led me to this moment where we are right now. Like, I try to figure out ways to kind of make the days and nights go by better. This is one thing that I do. Around 7 o'clock, here, at least here in New York, I don't know if it's everywhere else, but people go outside on the stoops and in the streets and they clap out the windows. They clap and make noise and, bang on pots and pans in solidarity for all of our essential workers, which is a great thing that brings us all together. What I like to do is around 6:58, 6:59, I go on to the end of my block, and right when they start clapping, I just do an ever so light jog right down the block, right? And I tell myself that I just finished running a marathon. And it's such a great self-esteem booster, right? It's just everybody's just clapping, cheering. The only problem is that I'm lazy. I don't want to keep switching blocks every night. So I just do the same block every single night. So people have caught on to what I'm doing. So all you see is just a bunch of angry, disappointed faces, but they can't stop clapping. So it's just a lot of this. The mask on, all you see is their eyes, just the disappointment in their eyes. It's a lot of fun. What else are we talking about? A lot of, it being New York, like I said, a lot of people move here in pursuit of, acting, a lot of artists, musicians, comedians, and a lot of them have moved back home to quarantine with their parents. So they've basically moved back in with their parents, or as I like to call it, the inevitable. It's just, let's just call it what it is. And I'm very jealous. I don't like when people are extra woke for things that don't need an awakening, right? Like, do you know these people? You ever meet someone that's so woke you wish they would go back to sleep? Do you know these people? Just say stuff. My one friend, I was talking to her, and she's just like, I was like, this quarantine. This is pre-protest. It's like this quarantine. It has me feeling like I'm a prisoner in my own home. She goes, "Oh, prisoner? How could you say such a thing? Why would you say that? You don't know what it's like for prisoners in prison. You have a warm bed, you have hot food, Wi-Fi, cable. You don't know what it's like." I'm like, fine. It feels like I'm a prisoner on a white collar crime, like whatever you want to call it. I just don't want to be here anymore. And then she continues, she goes, these are uncertain times. You've heard people refer to these times as uncertain times. She goes, these are uncertain times. I'm like, no, I'm pretty certain we're screwed. I'm as certain about these times as I've ever been in my entire life. We are screwed. I have my bucket list for post-quarantine or whatever. Post-quarantine, I want to go back to Latin America, particularly Brazil. Yes. Yeah. And this time I'm not going to lie as to why I'm going. I'm just going to be women and alcohol. There's just, let's cut the crap. Forget the culture, forget the, women and alcohol. I think that I learned that going to Brazil, no married man or any man who's in a serious relationship should ever go to Brazil if he cares anything about his relationship. It's not going to end well. Ladies, if your guy ever plans on going to Brazil, you better nip that in the bud, book an extra flight, because it's gonna end bad for you. This is what I describe how married men going to Brazil. You know those scenes in the movie where the husband goes off to war, right? And the soldiers pull up in front of the house and they start walking towards the house, and the wife sees the soldiers walking towards the house and she knows what that means. And she just starts crying and drops to her knees. They comfort her. They hand her a flag, the whole thing. That's what should happen when someone's husband goes off to Brazil. The best man at the wedding and another guy friend should pull up to the house, slowly walk towards the steps. She knows exactly what's going on. She's lost her husband forever, right? She starts crying. They hand her back his wedding band on a triangular flag, however you want to describe it. But that's what should happen when the husband goes off to Brazil. Don't let him go. It's not going to end well. What else? Oh, certain things are happening. Dr. Fauci said that we can have sports again as long as there are no fans in the audience. So the WNBA, perfectly fine. They can go right back to normal. I might end it on, you know what? I like that. I might end it on an all. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good quarantine. Stay safe, everybody.
Thank you, Charles McBee, everybody. Awesome. Oh, man. Charles, your friend who kept telling you uncertain things are so uncertain now is also this person who's overly woke. I'm suspicious of that person, specifically because that language of uncertain times, like she got that from commercials. Like that's where that comes from. And there's a very specific kind of person we know who like gets all their wokeness, but they didn't get it from reading bell hooks or Ta-Nehisi Coates. Like they just got it from watching commercials. It's like a very branded wokeness. It's more of a you're just coming up from a nap, but you're not really getting up all the way. So we got one comedian left, and you heard Dominic talk about at the beginning. He is great. He is coming to us from Gowanus, which I am told is the Queens of Brooklyn. You have seen him on True TV, and you have heard him, or you can hear him regularly on Sirius XM. Please welcome Luke Thayer.
Woo! Well, thank you. I mean, I feel a little awkward right now. I feel like you've been hearing about me all night long, the white guy. I feel like I've been kind of the white devil in everyone's jokes so far. And I mean, and everyone's so freaking funny. I mean, it puts me in a little awkward position right now that I'm the headliner this week. Like, read the room, guys. I don't know that. I mean, I could have gone at any point. I didn't have to. I didn't ask for this. Like, I'm an ally. I did not ask for this. I did not. I didn't want to all crescendo with me. That's feels a little like the antithesis of this week. I don't know, but don't worry. I'm on your side. I'm on everyone's side. And my wife is black, so and I got no money, so I'm not with those white people. All right, so. We have a child. I'm making black people. I mean, I'm an ally. What I'm saying. So it's I don't know how everybody ended up being from the Midwest, and except for Kentucky, which is the South. Which I'm gonna be honest, Ariel, that's not bragging. To say, Midwest isn't good, but South. I mean, we all know what's going on there. And the thing is, like, I'm from Indiana, which is just as bad as the South. Like, we have an accent there that tells you exactly what's going on in the minds of people from Indiana. It's called the Hoosier twang, which sounds more like this. Yeah, it's a little low and a little slow, right? Sounds sort of friendly, unless you listen to the words. Those are usually racist, so don't listen to those too much. And the thing is, this voice just don't make no sense to people around the country, because if you look at a map, well, Indiana is up here, but it sounds like we're from down here. That's because we're a very special state. You see, we took all that horrible weather of the North and combined it with the ignorance of the South, right there. Called the worst of both worlds, right there. It's not a good place. Look, I get it. I'm from there. It's, we all have our places that we are from. And really, the state motto should be, why you want to do that? Because everything in the state's like that. I told everybody I wanted to go to college. I was like, I want to go to college and I want to move to New York City and I want to be a comedian. And they're like, why you want to do that? We got a Walmart's right here. I'll get you a job in the tire department right now. You can make $11.25 an hour, and that's good money here. That's good money. And as I look back at my choices, I wish I had taken that job. So it's the fact that we're here in New York City. Now, you guys, some of you are in Queens, Megan, it sounds like you're in Manhattan. I'm in Brooklyn, but we're here in this city. And that's part of like what I think of when we come from these other places and we move here because we had a dream. We all had some sort of dream. I'm going to make it. This is going to be my Alicia Keys song, my Concrete Jungle. I can't wait. But I've learned something. In New York, it is not an Alicia Keys song. It is a Wu-Tang video. So you got to survive. right? Because this place, they flip. Like I got by New York City is really what I'm trying to say. Because they said beautiful things before I got here. Like New York City is the greatest city in the world. And I've been here for many years and I learned something. It's not the greatest city in the world. It's a pyramid scheme. Right? You tell 10 of your friends it's the greatest city in the world. They tell 10 of their friends and on and on and on. And then we get here and we're broke and dead. That's what this place really is. And I'm not listening to any more of these slogans. Like, only in New York, only in New York. Yeah, that's great on a t-shirt, but in real life, nothing good ever happens after somebody says, only in New York. It is always a cautionary tale, right? Like, only in New York, huh? The dude took a dump on my shoe. Only in New York, huh? I got mugged today by a cop. Only in New York. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. This is not the place. You have to adapt or leave. That's it. Those are your only two options. You can't stay the same person, right? Like I had Midwestern values when I moved here. I said things like this. Well, let me hold the door open for you. Yeah. And all of New York City went in first. Everyone. I was at LaGuardia for 9 years holding that door for everybody. And this is like, just the anger. Just the anger is here. I'm trying to, like, it's just not what I'm used to. We're just such reserved people. Right? Like we're reserved and they don't back here. Like there's road rage. There's road rage 24 hours, 7 days a week in every individual here, and nobody owns a car. I don't even know how that's possible. Right? And just they don't trust you. They will not trust you here. Like, you know, this past winter, one of the few icy days that we had, I saw a woman fall down and I thought, you know what? I still have a little bit of that Midwestern value, dignity in me. Let me help her up. So I went to help her up and she goes, what are you doing? Get away from me. Right? No, I got no change for you. Keep it moving. No change. Keep moving. I'm like, no, ma'am, I don't want anything from you. I want to help you. Help me? No, I don't want any of your help scam. I know how this works. You help me up, then I'm in a cult. No, thank you. Just leave me here. Let the rats eat me. Thank you. Hold for applause. Now, the thing about this is like, not only is that there's that attitude, but it permeates everything in this city. Like where we're all from, there's these people, they're called real estate agents, and they are agents for you. They are agents of change. They want to help you find your forever home. They want to help you with this stuff. They're going to take their time and they're going to be kind and patient with you. They're going to show you the wall-to-wall carpeting. They're going to show you the walk-in closet and the 2-car garage. They want you to take your time and make a decision. But in New York, we don't have agents. We have real estate brokers, because that's what you're going to be after you talk to them. Not only do you have to pay outrageous rent, you got to pay them for the privilege to pay that outrageous rent. And the pressure's there. And this thing, they don't care about you at all. There's no kindness to it. Like the last time I was looking for an apartment, one of these brokers, we walked in and this was his entire sales pitch. He goes, this is it. That was all he told me about the place. And I was like, well, I have a couple questions. He goes, make it quick, because this is a hot apartment. All right. There's people that want this place and they're going to take it like that. And I go, well, this is the only question I have then. He goes, too late. There was a dude in the closet. It's his place now. Should have thought of that. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to have my questions loaded next time. So next apartment we go to, we walk in there, I go, are there any amenities? He goes, amenities? What are you talking about, man? This is New York. There's a toilet next to this refrigerator. Does that count as an amenity for you? I'm like, okay, I'm done with that. So like, that's a thing, is like, you know, where I'm from, I'm just not used to that in your faceness, right? Like where I'm from, there's something called passive aggressive. And I assume that some of you know about passive aggressive. If you don't know what it is, passive aggressive is when we don't like something about you, maybe we don't like you at all, but we're too polite to just tell you to your face. So what we're going to do, we're going to make it sound like a compliment when we insult you to your face. We say stuff like this. You know what I love about you, Sharon? You just don't care. You don't care how you look or what you're dressed in or your hair. It's like you do nothing with it and you just don't care. I mean, I couldn't do it, but you pull it off somehow. I tell everyone, that's sharing. That's just sharing. There's no passive aggressive in New York City. There's aggressive. That's it. That's all you get. Right? Like strangers will tell you exactly what they think about you on the street, whether you want to hear it or not. Like a guy saw me, he goes, "Hey, dude, come here a second. Yeah, you kind of look like Superman. If there was something wrong with him, though." That dude just disappeared into a trash can, and I never saw him again. That was the beginning and end of our relationship right there. But at least I get to think about that for the rest of my life. There's always a comment like, like that. This wasn't going to be part of my set, but it is going to be part of it now because I got an internet comment. And the thing is, on internet comments on videos, they're very touchy. I hope that whenever this goes up, that the comments are disabled because it never goes well. It always starts out nice. Like I got one that I was in. It did pretty well. It was in a big comedy festival, and underneath the first comment was like, "This guy's pretty funny." I'm like, yes, that is exactly what I wanted to hear. This guy's pretty funny. But then my brain is like still Midwestern. I'm like, well, that's just the beginning of the politeness, isn't it? Oh, they're just going to get better from here. Like the next one's going to be, he's not pretty funny. He's really funny. And then the guy after that's going to be, this guy is so hilarious. My son just died laughing. I'm typing this for him. Like, but that's not where it went. The second comment was, why does this guy look so weird? That was 2. Number 2. Pretty funny. Why does he look so weird? That just dropped off a cliff. And I'm like, look, I lived in Brooklyn now for 10 years. I saw a guy riding a unicycle with a handlebar mustache and an Abe Lincoln top hat, and nobody said a word to him. I have no idea what weird even means anymore. So what's this guy, thinking is weird? Well, thankfully there's comment 3 to elaborate. This guy looks weird because he's got giant broad shoulders and a tiny head. A tiny head. No idea I had a tiny head. All my life I thought I had a big nose on like a normal sized head. Apparently I have a normal nose on a tiny baby head. So more of what I get to live with, And just the way I grew up, and I'm going to kind of wrap it up with this, is, I'm from an area, we aren't just passive aggressive. We're Christian. We're a Christian folk out there, right? And in fact, it's very specific type of Christian. We're not just Christian, like we're white. We're very white. It's not very diverse at all. They're so white that they're bigoted against other white people, right? Like, that guy sure looked like an Italian to me. I don't know about him. Is he Irish? I don't know about him, right? And so we're even that way about Christian stuff. Like, they don't do Christian out here in New York City. Like, I mean, they got Catholics, but I'm talking about real Christians, right? So we got another word for Catholics where I'm from. We call them heathens, right? And I'm not used to it. And a friend of mine was like, dude, you got to go to a Roman Catholic service. I got to teach you something. You need to have your mind open up to these guys. And so I went to this Roman Catholic service, and I don't know these guys. Do you know these guys? I'm like, I think there's something wrong with your preacher. He's moaning up there. I think he had a stroke. We should call the paramedics. And I'm like, he's like, no, that's what he does. It's like just like your preacher. I'm like, not like my preacher. And we got evangelical preachers where I'm from. Right? This guy's not even using words, and we add extra words and syllables to ones we're saying there. Like, welcome to the Holy Tabernacle of the Lord Jesus Christ. Like, that guy can't compete. Man, that guy's not doing anything up there. And then he had one title to his name, Father McNeely. I'm like, dude, you must really suck, because our preacher's got all the titles. Like, I'm the Dr. Reverend here. I'm the Dr. Reverend Preacher Pastor. I'm the Dr. Reverend Preacher Pastor Bishop Deacon Johnson Jr. the third. Like, dang, you must have gone to a lot of schools. He's like, I didn't go to any schools. The Holy Spirit gave me my doctorate. The guy. And then afterwards he goes, would you like to go in this little box and tell me your secrets? No, I wouldn't. But I could tell you about my tiny head. So anyway, guys, I probably should wrap this up. But thank you so much. Everyone before me, incredibly funny. Thank you for allowing me to be part of a lineup with you guys.
Woo.
Thank you, Luke. Awesome. Thank you to everybody everybody who's on the show, everybody who has attended the show. Thank you to everybody who's going to watch the show online later because we're recording it. And Luke mentioned I am in Manhattan. I just want to clarify. I'm in Washington Heights. All right, I'm very close to Inwood, so I'm basically Washington Heights is the Astoria of Manhattan. Thank you so much for everybody for being here. I do want to say I saw that at one point we had like 33 participants logged in. There's probably more people watching at home on the Zoom than have been physically in the audience of most of the comedy shows I've performed at. We're going to be doing shows every Thursday at 7:30 for the next 3 weeks, the entire month of June with the Queens Theater. We hope that you will join us again, tell your friends. Next week, we have comedians from Samantha Bee from True TV. We're going to have Emily Walsh, Mike Brown, Sharon DeVito, and Abby Crutchfield are going to be on the show. So we hope to see you then. And again, please have a safe, healthy week. At the very least, stay alive. Woo. Good night, everybody.
Megan Sass, everyone.